This is the Q&A part of Clocked In. I'm Jose, your owner-operator at Big Cheese Pizza. Now, today I have something special. It's a two-part today because somebody asked about 8 questions, I believe, and then the other part is a couple of my Instagram questions. This is where I get usually my questions. But if you ever have a question, drop them below. I'll usually put them in one, but basically, I don't want to call this person a hater, but we had a person that, to give you a small little teaser, said that why am I recording these videos if the person that you guys should be listening to is my dad, because he's the true owner, the person that sacrificed it all. So the first part is going to be me answering all of the questions from one person. He asked about 8, 10 questions, and I'll do a second part where it's the Instagram usual questions with this question, because that question is a really long part and it does require more, like, its own attention, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions for me to answer, drop them below. Remember, I'm an owner-operator at a pizza place, but I'm not just an owner-operator. I feel like I have a little bit of motivation, a little bit of everything, because being a pizza owner, being an owner of business isn't just one thing. It's just like everything. Life isn't about just one thing. If you look at it in that lens, then you might be in a world of trouble, because life isn't just whatever you see in your lens, in my opinion. Now, again, this is going to be your part one. Any questions, always drop them below. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. Especially right now that I'm technically small, I'm gonna answer most questions, if not all questions. If you have a difference of opinion, it's okay. I understand, and it's totally normal. Okay, so all these questions come from YouTube. I don't know if his name is Kip, but it says Kip and a bunch of numbers, so I'm gonna say these are Kip questions. Okay. Question number one is: do you feel like you'll open a pizza restaurant fully on your own one day? To answer that question, I'm not sure if, what do you mean by open one fully on your own? Like, if you mean, am I going to open a restaurant, a pizzeria that isn't Big T's? Then I would say no, unless if you're saying maybe through my own money. Hopefully. Why? Because hopefully I can grow the podcast and my brand, and I could grow that to make enough money to open a store where it doesn't rely on the pizza money, if that makes sense. Now, that's one part to answer the question. Another part how I answer the question is, before I fully answer the question, I don't I don't see a reason why I would open a restaurant not related to Big T's, because I have 13 years of experience. We have a good product. I'm trying to master every part of the craft. I'm trying to master, let's say, I've mastered the operating part. I mastered trusting the delegation. I mastered, well, not fully, right? But as someone mastered like the systems, I'm trying to master the marketing. So it's like, I feel like once I power up and learn all the elements, then that's all I need to open more. But why would I open more that aren't Big T's related? Now, I do have this really good idea of opening a different pizzeria related to Big T's, and I would still call it Big T's, but I would call it Big T's with something else. And I'm not going to say it because I think manifestation is important, but I don't want to ruin and speak to the universe and it not happen because of it. Now, that if I do manage to open that pizzeria, that concept, I am open to making sure that it's the most profitable, if possible. Again, these are just ideas. Ideas are good, but you have to actually do it. But I need money, so that's why I'm trying to open more pizzerias and open my brand and grow my brand. But I'm open to private equity, although everybody says that private equity is bad. But I'm open to some form of private equity expansion, to expand that concept with some guardrails, like making sure that we always have the same product, never cutting corners, stuff like that. Because a lot of people say that once private equity comes in, then usually it ruins everything. And I see that as long as there's guardrails, I don't see an issue all written down. So that's how I'll answer your question. None of these questions I'm going to answer, they're going to be short. That's why I dedicated a whole video just for this one, because again, I'm not going to give you like a full podcast episode each question, but I'll give an honest answer, because honesty, authenticity is what I believe in, and transparency, and that's what I'm always try to be as honest as possible and just say it how it is, say it how I think, say it how I speak. Next question. Can you talk more about the website subscription? How confident you feel about it? I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly, but if you're talking about website subscriptions in general, now I think it's a good model. If the subscription offers a good thing, then I don't see why it's a bad thing. Now I do know that. I don't know this, but let's say for example, I saw a statistic that my brother told me that like 80% of the people don't use their gym membership or something like that, or it was something crazy. And I have a gym membership, and I just canceled it because I haven't used it in like three months. But I've been doing my own home workouts, and because I'm trying to expand the business, and something bad happened where I needed money to fix my roof, but we're not talking about that. I canceled my subscriptions, but I feel like subscriptions is like the new wave. Like, well, I think we're already past that, but subscriptions are good if they offer something. Now, I'm trying to do some membership plan for Big T's, but I'm not sure yet. But it depends also on what it is. Like, let's say I grow my base and then I have a subscription plan, a membership plan where you join for X amount of dollars and then you get some insight and stuff like that. Again, as long as the content or whatever I'm offering is worth whatever the price is, I don't think it's a bad idea, because you're getting something out of it. Now, ownership, you won't have ownership. It's like Netflix. You don't own the movies. You technically just watch them, right? But if you really want to watch that movie or that item, you would buy it, right? So it's like I bought Interstellar because I really love that movie, even though I haven't watched it ever since I bought it, which is funny. But when it was on Netflix, it was gonna go out. I watched that movie for like 7-8 times in like the span of 2 weeks. That movie's good. But yeah, I am confident about it if I could offer something good that's worth it. So I think subscriptions are a good model. Next question. Do you feel like family owned helps, hurts, a little bit of both, or has no effect in the business? Okay, a little bit of both. But it can help out a lot because, look, I'm not talking smack about everybody or people in general. Obviously, this doesn't apply to every person, right? But maybe some of you will see it. You know, there's a lot of people that say, "It's not my business. It's not my money, so I don't care." Or some people say, they'll take like a bunch of extra condiments and napkins, and they'll say like, "Well, you guys already baked it in the price, so it's okay. Like, y'all, it's free." It's free for you, but it's not free for the business, right? Now, why am I talking about that? Because if the family members actually care about their business, that is very beneficial. Because I care for the business, my dad cares for the business, my brother cares, but he still needs to work a lot on, let's say, improving like his manager skills and whatever, right? But my brother cares. Nobody's gonna but he doesn't fully care like let's say like I do. There's things that, like, example, I see people just talking on their phones. I'll put them to work. It's like, all right, like, you could talk, but you got to be doing this. My brother doesn't see it that way. I care a lot about my business, about the business. My brother doesn't care as much as I do, but he does care. So caring for the business because it's yours is very beneficial. Now, the part where it hurts is when it comes to the fact that if you are not emotionally strong enough to be able to have differences, especially when you're all working with your parents. I used to have this issue a lot where my dad and I would argue a lot. And albeit part of it was his fault and part of it was my fault too, but there was times where I didn't think it was my fault at all. Now the older I am, the little bit more mature I am, and maturity isn't said, it's shown. But a lot of times whenever he says something out of pocket, I might get upset, but I just don't talk back, because if I talk back, then it's going to create a ripple effect. Sometimes I just can't stay quiet, and I'll say what I'm thinking, right? But I do think that family owning a family-owned business is a little bit more beneficial than it does hurt, but it's both. It will hurt. It does hurt. Or if something bad happens, then it's like, or let's say you want to take a family trip. If your family believes in that, it's like, oh, now the whole family is gonna go on the trip. Who's gonna run the business? Obviously, it depends on how many people you got. I don't think we could leave the business. I feel like my dad or I have to be in the business for it to be somewhat successful. We're not there yet completely. How important is it to Big T's to make a social impact? Now, I'll be honest with this answer. Sorry, I have something in my eye. My bad. Okay. How important is it to Big T's to make a social impact? Now, it depends. I don't think it's that important to make a social impact as long as we're selling good pizza. We're sticking to Big T's policy, right? Because this is what I believe in pizza in food restaurants. A lot of times it's hard for them to hard for us to make an impact socially because the social media is broad. When you post a video, technically the video somebody in a different country could see my video, right? Or somebody on the other side of the United States could see my video, or someone 50 miles away could see my video. Now, how will that benefit my business, my restaurant, if I'm in Rialto and my video got seen by somebody in New York? They can't they can't buy a pizza from my place, right? Obviously, there's products I could sell and they could support me, right? But we're not talking about that. So I think it's not that important for Big T's to make a social impact. Now, let's say I do this event where I go once a month and give homeless people food. Obviously, that has a social impact, and maybe that might benefit Big T's, but I mean that wasn't there before I started making these videos, if that makes sense. So I don't think when it comes to restaurant, it is that important to make a social impact. Again, for those reasons. Next question. Do you think there's anything that could make the pizza even better? In terms of taste, I don't think so, because look, as humans, we always can improve and we should always be improving, right? But if it works, then it doesn't need any fixing. A lot of times, especially when I was younger, I would have these crazy good ideas. Good ideas, right? Maybe they were good ideas. But they would derive us from the simplicity, or they would derive us from what already works. So in the terms of quality, like the taste, I don't think there's any way we can make it better, but we could make it better by being more efficient, by being faster, by giving it better customer service. And I know in the Rialto store we don't give the best customer service, and I try my best to like tell these people, like the employees, to make sure they give good customer service, how important it is. But let's not talk about that right now. If I can let's say the wait time in Rialto is an hour and a half sometimes for pickup. How can I make that better if both ovens are full and everything's flowing at max capacity? Like crazy. Y'all have seen clips. If you watch my channel, there's some clips of how busy we get sometimes on a Tuesday, a 45-minute wait time. Like crazy, right? I think the only way we can make it more efficient is by opening another location nearby to offset the customers, if that makes sense. So I think I can make the pizza better by improving the flow, by improving the flow. And that's one way, and improving the flow inside, which we kind of already did. Like unless if we like make it a little bit bigger inside by getting the place that's next to us, but the rent's like 10 grand, so it's like, ugh, that's a lot for an old building. It's like, ugh. But that's the only ways I think I can make Big T's better. Next question. Do your customers express their appreciation of you guys? Big T's customers, if you are watching this, we love you guys. Like, you don't know how many times we get customers that come to me or to us, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you guys are the best pizza in town. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Not only do you guys taste good, you guys have a good price," and they'll give their reasonings, and we appreciate every single customer. And that's why I try to do these videos too, to show that, just like, hey, we appreciate you guys. And maybe you guys, it gets to you, maybe you don't. I know on Instagram, before I changed my name, it still does get to people that are customers, and they understand. For example, the wait times. We already talked about this before, but there's a post I have it on my Instagram. It's my pinned thing. Or I make a video where I say sorry for everything, like the wait times and the mistakes and the sometimes bad customer service. And I got so much positive feedback. So, They really do. They really express their gratification. And again, you might not think that our pizza is the best, but I mean, opinions are subjective, right? Next question. What new things can we expect from Big T's in the future? Okay, so this one's related to the subscription thing. I'm gonna say it because it's actually something I'm planning. I'm planning to do like this membership program. Well, not a membership program. Like, I'm trying to see. We're trying to open a third location, right? I'm actually one step closer. I'm just waiting for the lease. And it's like, I'm so happy. Sorry, I'm getting derived for the fact, but it's like, oh my god, I might open a third location. Like, how scary is that? Like, it's scary, and I'm not crying because it's like, ooh, I'm already over the cry phase. But I'm actually going to post videos that I recorded myself on the journey of just me talking and like giving you the most raw emotion and just speaking, because I believe in that. Once and if we get the lease. Once we get the lease, then I'll do it, and hopefully it's not a mistake that we do. But I'm sorry for getting off track. What can we expect from Big T's in the future? More locations. That was going to be the point. Before I more locations, hopefully, for sure. I know we got this. If I can master the everything, marketing, if I can master the systems, if I can master that, and then money will come, right? And getting employees, if I can master all that, then I know you could expect more locations from Big T's. Now, back to what I was saying is I'm trying to do this thing where, let's say for like not like a membership, but kind of like a membership where you pay, let's say, I was thinking about like $49.99. You pay the $50 and you get 12 mediums for that or something like that. Like, because originally I had thought like a sub plan where you could get like kind of like Panera Bread, where they give you like free drinks for like 10-15 bucks. I was thinking of like, oh, free garlic bread or free salad for this. I have that, and then I was also thinking of, for the third location, the Founders Club, like make it something exclusive, like for first 100 people or 200 people that sub to this, get like a free pizza every month. And then I thought, why does it have to be a month? Why don't we just simplify it and you get like 12 free pizzas with the purchase of like $20 to incentivize customers to come? Because remember, this is derived to customers, but at the same time, this is like the business plan, because it is a business and I have to make it better, and I have to think of how I could fund it, and with that extra income is I can use that for more marketing. So I think those are the two things you can expect from Big T's. You can expect for sure more locations, and hopefully some kind of membership subscription plan to incentivize you guys, to give you guys more stuff too, if that makes sense, because we love every single customer. Although we already have a really good price, so it's like that's already like a really good incentive. So again, that's my honest opinion. Next question is, what new things? Oh, I already asked that. Have you guys been recognized by the city of Rialto in a way? I think we have. We haven't recently been on that, if that makes sense. Now the reason is that it's not. It kind of ties with my question that I answered about the question about how important is it Big T's to make a social impact. I love the city of Rialto, obviously city of Whittier, and if you grow with the community will give you back, right? I do believe that, but I don't think we have been recognized in a while, because again, we're not there. We could. They have, like, for example, the Rialto Unified School District has given us the contract to see if we could do it, to give pizzas to the schools, but just we haven't tried, because it does require, you have to be like at, oh, my neck. You do have to be like at 13 different locations at once and stuff like that, like 13 different schools, and like the pizza has to be at this temperature when it arrives there. This is a lot of rules, right? And before, I don't think we have recently, but we would get invited to a lot of events, like, oh, Rialto does this, put your little booth. But again, we get so busy, and it's hard for us to do that. But so somewhat. And then this person asks, so I think this person is like a Rialto person, because I mean that Rialto question is a little specified, but I mean it could have been a generic question. I don't know. How is competition in the area? Okay, so competition in the area. In Rialto, there is no competition. No, my point of that is that technically there is a lot of competition. There's like 17, 18 pizza places in like 4-mile radius, or even under that. It could be a smaller radius, but there's a lot of pizza places. But because we've been there for so long in Rialto, there is technically, I'm not saying there's no competition, but it's different, because technically we're the competition, if that makes sense. If somebody wanted to open a pizza place, they have to worry about, oh, but Big T's is a big powerhouse. I know Brothers Pizza is also there. Technically, we're the two biggest ones in Rialto. Like, everybody either knows either, or they know both, or they say one's better than the other. Like, I'm not saying, I mean, I am saying ours is better, right? But I've never had Brothers, and a lot of people come and tell us, oh, you're better than Brothers for sure. I'm sure there's people that go to Brothers and say they're Big T's, you're better than Big T's. I actually went to go play pickleball the other day, and I asked these two girls, like, hey, like, y'all know about Big T's? Like, oh, yeah, we do. And one of them was like, oh my God, best pizza. And the other girl was like, I like Brothers more, but I like you guys because of, like, you guys have an amazing price, and then some other reason I forgot she said. So again, opinions are subjective. When it comes to Whittier, the competition, we had literally competition right next to us. Like, literally, like, across the street, there was another pizza place. They closed down, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I can't say that without smiling anymore, but I don't want bad karma, okay? So, knocking on some wood, and I hope this is real wood, but, I know there's like a Little Caesar and Domino's, but there isn't that much competition. Now, if we do open the third location, there's a lot of competition. There's going to be literally a pizza place right in front of us. So it's like, ugh, I better master marketing, because I used to complain that there's a pizza place in front of us, and I'm going to open a place with a pizza place right in front of us. So it's like, you better do this right, because, yeah, it's scary. So that's the answer. And then last question is, what would you say that you personally bring to Big T's in the business's effort to keep serving the community and to grow? Well, what do I think I personally bring to Big T's is I'm trying to make us as effective as possible. Now, maybe I'm not helping out the community directly, but actually, does it say Rialto? Well, actually, we need to work a little bit better on this, but we give schools discounts. Maybe not as good anymore, because I have to talk to my brother about that, and I haven't put effort into that, so I haven't been doing good on that. But first, if we're in Whittier, whenever a school asks me, hey, can you help me out? I'll help them out. Rio Hondo, it's a college near us, asked if they want 40 larges, and I'm going to record that. They want 40 larges delivered at 10, so it's like, ooh, of course I can do that, you know? And they're like, oh, can we get a good price? And I was like, yeah, I won't charge you tax, and I'll give you this. Because they're ordering 40 pizzas. I think it was 40. You're ordering 40 pizzas. It's like, okay, you know, and you're the school, and maybe they have money, but it's like, you can't look at it like that. But I know that if I can make Big T's run as effective and efficient as possible, right? Then I know I'm helping out the business. Now, if I can do that and make it where I don't have to be there, and more importantly, my dad doesn't have to be there, but he wants to be there, then I know that I could run more stores. And with more stores, it means eventually more money comes in. With more money, I could hire more employees. I could give them even better pay, and be even more efficient, because, you know, usually employees respectfully work better when they have good incentives, right? If you see people that I'm working a minimum wage job and I don't care, like, then they give you the I don't care effort. But if you instill to them, hey man, if you give me good effort, if you do your best job, if you give good customer service, then eventually I will give you a good raise. I will pay you this much, or I will start you off here and then pay you even better, above market or above market or whatever. Then you'll have more people. So I know that by making Big T's run more efficiently, the customers will love it. And I know that if I could crack the code of making Big T's Rialto very efficient, which I think the only route is to open something very close to there. I'm talking 2 miles away from it, to help offset the customers, then I know that this will be the best thing for Big T's customers. Like, I truly believe that that's the best way I could crack the code, because it's either that or raise the prices something crazy where we lose a lot of customers, if that makes sense. So let's say we need 100 grand to survive, raise the prices by like 30%. That's not something I'm willing to do unless if inflation gets crazy and I have to, right? Like, I wouldn't do this unless if I have to. That's why we're still really good price, you know, like the cheapest, like most pizzas cost like 15-20 bucks. Everyone's like, oh my god, I got 2 mediums at Pizza Hut for like $45 delivered, and I could get a family deal delivered, 2 pizzas, 2 larges, 10 wings of soda, 2 extra larges, 10 wings of soda delivered for the same price or a little bit under, probably a little under. You could do 45 with the tip. That is, in this economy, crazy. So that is all for part 1 of my Q&A. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the questions. If you have any questions, I don't care what it is, even if it's negative, I'll answer them. Well, I mean, if it's a troll question, I mean, I won't, but let's say if you watch part 2, you'll see what I'm talking about. Even if it's that question, it's okay. So Jose Q, your owner operator at Big T's Pizza with the Q&A with Clocked In. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, I'm gonna keep recording these videos.